Okay, welcome to the February 1st North Shore Fire Department Board of Commissioners regular meeting. Our first order of business will be roll call.
Good evening, Commissioner Admin.
Present.
Commissioner Pratt.
Present.
Commissioner Byers.
Present.
Commissioner Webster.
Here.
Commissioner Woolham. You're muted. Are you able to unmute?
Here.
Great. Thank you. Chief Morris.
Present.
Legal Counsel Matt Paxton.
Here.
Lake Forest Park City Council Member Philippa Cassover. Hi. Kenmore City Council Member Nigel Herbig. I don't think I saw him log on. And I'm Board Secretary Amy Oakley.
Excellent. Okay. Item number 2, public comment.
Yes, I received one request so far for public comment, and then after Mr. DeBay will open the floor to anyone who would like to raise their hand. So I'll start with Mr. Gabe DeBay. You'll have 3 minutes to make your comment.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Are you able to hear me?
I am, yes.
Awesome. Thanks. Hi there. My name's Gabe DeBay. I'm the Shoreline Fire Union President Emeritus. And I've been working for many years, almost a decade, on trying to bring North Shore Fire Department and Shoreline Fire Department together. And I hope tonight is the night. This potential joining of 2 fire departments isn't about politics. It's not about unions or fire chiefs. What this truly is about, it's about the citizens we serve. And I believe the joining of 2 neighboring fire departments will reduce redundancy at the top and allow us to provide an even better level of service to all the people out there we call customers. This includes everyone from the city of Shoreline, Lake Forest Park, Kenmore, and Woodway. I look forward to working side by side with North Shore firefighters. We already do. And we also look forward as fellow union brothers and sisters in providing a fair transition while our union respects North Shore's promotions, assignments, culture, and we move forward as one. I just want to say thank you to all of the various citizens who have become involved and active in this process. There have been many people that have spoken out and shared their comments, and I really appreciate it. And I also appreciate the fire commissioners, the citizen representatives for your work and open-mindedness to this process, and all of the firefighters out there who are willing to change to make our service better for the people. And trust me, firefighters do not love change. And then the final comment I had was, I just wanted to say thanks to the late Fire Commissioner Rick Verlinda for his work. He was a friend of mine, and we all miss him, and I'm sure he's looking down on us and proud of the work that has been done and the work that will be done moving forward. So thank you all to everyone. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. DeBay. All right. Our next item is the approval.
We have some raised hands.
Apologize.
So I'll start with Mr. David Marin. Dave Marin, you'll have 3 minutes to make your comments. And you're muted right now. You're still muted.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity to comment tonight. I think Gabe DeBay is correct. This is going to be an important night for the Board of Commissioners and for our citizens of the King County Fire District. I believe this Board of Commissioners should vote to select the Eastside Fire and Rescue as a service contract provider. Eastside has a long record of successfully providing contracts fire services. Their proposal was responsive and complete. The cost savings to the King County Fire District 16 citizens is substantial. The proposal included available options that could be used to improve service or further reduce costs. The shoreline fire proposal is still incomplete as costs for specific aspects are still unknown. This exemplifies the shoreline fire department's inexperience in providing contract services. This inexperience presents a significant risk to the King County Fire District 16 citizens. Should the board vote tonight to select a preferred fire service contract provider, I urge the board to limit their authorization to a subcommittee to begin negotiating contract terms. It's unclear whether satisfactory terms can be achieved until all of the costs and aspects of the contract is known. It's impossible to assure the district residents that the best proposal has been selected. Finally, I believe any contract with the Shoreline Fire Department should include an equalization clause to reconcile any imbalance in response to calls from one agency to another. The North Shore Fire Department has historically provided more mutual aid to the Shoreline Fire Department than Shoreline has provided to North Shore. Changing the relationship between North Shore Fire Department and Shoreline from one of mutual aid to one of contract agencies is significant. State law does not allow one contract agency to subsidize another. Should the imbalance in service calls continue under the contract model, the North Shore Fire Department should receive compensation for extra services provided. There's no risk to this proposition. If, as some have opined, the imbalance disappears, then all is well. If that's not the case, an equalization clause will assure that state law is followed. Thank you for your time and good luck tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Marin.
Thank you. The next hand raised is Doug Loser. Hello, you'll have 3 minutes to make your comments.
Hi, my name is Doug Loser. I am the current union president for Shoreline Local 1760. I'm also a Shoreline citizen. And I just wanted to say thank you very much for all the commissioners for putting forth all the time and effort to really look into this process for both the citizens of Kenmore and Lake Forest Park, as well as all the employees that work with your department. You know, the seriousness in which you've taken this process has been very greatly appreciated. And in Shoreline, I can guarantee you we take the same seriousness as far as treating our citizens and employees with the same level of care. So we really hope we have the opportunity to work together. And I think it's been, as President Emeritus DeBay has said, this is something that has been worked on for many years, and we feel like together we can even provide better service. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. At this time, if anyone else would like to make a public comment, please turn your video on, raise your hand, or use the emoji button to raise your hand. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, citizens, for your thoughtful comments and contributions. Next item is approval of our agenda for this evening.
I'll move that we move forward with the agenda as presented.
I'll second that. Okay, thank you. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, agenda has been approved as it stands. Our next order of business will be an executive session. Board Secretary, can you read the language to dismiss us into executive session? I think we should probably start with about 15 minutes.
Okay, we are going to move into executive session for 15 minutes pursuant to RCW 42.30.1404 to discuss collective bargaining, also pursuant to RCW 42.30.1101G to discuss the performance of an employee, and pursuant to RCW 42.30.1101I to discuss with legal counsel potential litigation. It is 5:11, so we will return at 5:26. I'll pause the recording and open a breakout room. Good evening, The board is extending their executive session by 15 minutes. So they will return at 5:42. 5:42. Thank you so much for your patience.
Okay, welcome back. The next item on our agenda, discussion and possible action items. First item 5.1 is conversation with local 2459, and I see President Ingersoll. Or the chair recognizes President Ingersoll.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks again for having us on the agenda tonight. I'll keep it somewhat short. Local 2459 and their members, as I'm sure you're aware, we're excited about the decision of a contract for services. In the last 3 years or less than 3 years, we've had 5 different chiefs in our organization. We're looking forward to joining with an organization that we're familiar with, an organization that has a respected chief and administrative staff, and an organization who already provides services in our communities. The firefighters of North Shore Fire Department, and I'm sure the administrative staff as well, are looking forward to begin the next chapter with moving forward with Shoreline Fire Department. I want the commissioners to know the union executive boards will do everything that we can in Shoreline and North Shore to make sure that this is a smooth process. Finally, I want to thank you for adhering to your guidelines and your process that you used through choosing an agency, inviting city council members, citizens, and the firefighters of the organizations to speak up, ask questions, and voice their concerns. So with that, unless there are any questions for me, that's all I have.
Thank you, President Ingersoll. Item 5.2, discussion of Robert's Rules training.
Sure. So this is something that I had brought up, and I emailed everybody a response that we got from Ann McFarland, the training person. And so she said she has openings in April and was wondering to know how long of a workshop. It sounds like 2 or 3 hours, a particular day of the week. And would it be like a weekday evening or a weekend? So I think that's our discussion on that, is just pick a day and a time and a time frame, and I can follow up.
Question for you, Eric. Is this a Zoom retreat, or is this going to be in person?
It's a Zoom meeting, I believe.
I'm open for either one.
Commissioner Byers.
Yeah, I don't have a 9 to 5, so whether it's a weekday or weekend works for me.
Commissioner Wallen.
I'm flexible as well, so I'd say whichever is the first available.
So it sounds like we all have some flexibility. Maybe we just need to pick a day and a time of day. Commissioner Wallen, do you have a preference at all? Weekday versus weekend? Okay. Does Friday, April 1st work for everybody? Or we don't have to do this right now, for that matter. What I could do is I could just kind of poll people with some potential times and dates, and people could respond back. And I could just, if I find one that everybody says yes to, assuming I'm not breaking any.
Yeah, let's run that through the board secretary, Commissioner Admin. And my only preference would be for, a 2-hour rather than a 3-hour training.
Okay. How about if I send some proposed dates out to board secretary? She can disseminate that out. People can get back to her, and then she can identify the one that seems to work for the most or for everybody.
And,
We don't have
and
to hash that out.
Amy, you would probably want to attend that also, I believe.
Mhm.
So what date works for you also? Thank you.
Board Secretary?
I just had a question logistically, and this is for Matt Paxton. Is this, if it's on Zoom and all the board is attending, it's a special meeting? Is that correct?
Yeah, I guess if there was no discussion about district business, it wouldn't be technically a special meeting, but I do encourage you to note this is a special meeting, just to avoid any kind of appearance of impropriety. Invite the public so they can also attend and kind of share this information.
Okay, thank you.
So I'll follow up with some proposed dates to Amy.
Excellent. Anything more on that? We're good? Okay. Item 5.3, reports on our January 24th presentation to Lake Forest Park City Council, and that will be Commissioner Byers.
Yeah, so we met with the Lake Forest Park City Council meeting, or at their regular meeting. Commissioner Pratt made a presentation on why we're looking to contract for service, how we arrived at our two current proposals, the process and receiving feedback from our citizens and the city councils, and our timeline for proceeding with the contract for service. Following was a short Q&A where they voiced some concern about local control and maintaining it. There were some questions and concerns about branding, uniforms and historical presence, and a little clarification on contract for service versus a merger. And that was, I think, the gist of it, unless you got more to add.
Oh, that's good. Also in attendance was Chief Morris. Chief Morris, anything to contribute to that presentation?
No, it seemed like it was very well received. Lots of questions, and they were very appreciative of the process.
I agree. And I just, again, want to extend our thanks for the opportunity to dialogue with them and the consistent presence of Councilmember Cassover at our meetings. Commissioner Admin?
I just wondered if Councilmember Cassover had any comments about that presentation.
Councilmember?
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming and sharing the information with the council. They really appreciated learning more about it. And as you discovered, they're a pretty engaged group. And I think it was sort of interesting, the discussion that we had about the branding on the fire trucks and things like that. So, you know, that's something to bear in mind as things move along here. I think there's a lot of pride that the folks in Lake Forest Park take in the North Shore Fire Department and the great community relationships that have been built there. So, you know, something to bear in mind. So thank you very much again.
Thank you. Okay, next up, item 5.4, formalizing our contract for service recommendation. And as I see it, moving forward, we essentially have three options. Option number one is that we reconstitute a standalone organization. Option number two is that we move forward with the contract proposal from Eastside. And option three is we move forward with contract proposal as presented by Shoreline. So let's just take those in order. Is there any support for, or someone, council or commissioner, willing to make a motion to reconstitute standalone organization?
But before you do that, I just wonder if any of the council members, any of the commissioners had anything that they wanted to offer, or any comments before the discussion?
Comments? Would you like to start?
I don't personally. I just wanted to make sure that if anyone had any kind of comments they wanted to offer, that they had an opportunity to do that.
Okay, seeing no hands raised. So no no support for a standalone organization. Is there a commissioner willing to support and make a motion to move forward with the East Side proposal? Okay. Is there a commissioner willing to support with a motion to move forward with the shoreline proposal? Commissioner Byers.
I'd like to move that we select the Shoreline Fire Department, subject to our ability to contract with the Shoreline Fire Department and the unions to move forward with that contract for service.
Excellent. Is there a second? Commissioner Webster?
I think that I'd like to have a friendly amendment to Todd Byers' proposal that it's subject to bargaining, which wasn't in his statement. We need to have it subject to bargaining.
Okay. Commissioner Byers, do you accept that friendly amendment? I'm sorry, we can't hear you.
I do accept that amendment.
Okay. Is there someone willing to second the motion as amended? I'll second.
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, Commissioner Webster, were you going to second?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
So, Ms. Oakley, can you read the motion as amended, please?
One moment. Okay, the motion is Commissioner Byers moved to select the Shoreline Fire Department, subject to our ability to bargain an agreement with the contracting agency and the union.
Okay. Any discussion on this motion?
I'll go ahead and talk if no one else wants to here.
Thank you, Commissioner Byers.
I do believe that Shoreline Fire Department is the correct choice for us, and I've got a bunch of different reasons why. Shoreline Fire Department already provides ALS service, and they have for decades within our response area. We currently have a shared border, and we run mutual aid with Shoreline Fire. They run into our area, we run into their area. Because of these mutual aid responses and the shared border, the shoreline firefighters already have an understanding of North Shore's geography and target hazards. We currently train together and use the same incident command systems and scene management models. There's going to be an ease of transition with Shoreline to North Shore. Shoreline is already active in our community. An example of this is the recent vaccination clinics and the concern for our public safety and our health. The ability to retain the administration staff from the North Shore Fire Department, the support of our current administration, the support of our city councils, the support of our firefighters, and most importantly, the support of our voters. And those are the reasons that I support the Shoreline Fire Department proposal.
Thank you, Commissioner Byers. Anyone else willing to speak out on this motion? Okay. So moving forward with this vote, I think it's important that we do a roll call vote for a couple of reasons. One, we have a couple of members who, with their remote interests, can't be the swing votes. And it's been increasingly challenging for me to hear the votes and to see everyone's responses. So I've asked Board Secretary Oakley to do a roll call vote for this motion, please.
Yes, so I'll just reread the motion and then I'll ask each commissioner if they are yay or nay. So the motion is Commissioner Byers moved to select the Shoreline Fire Department subject to our ability to bargain an agreement with the contract agency and the union. So We'll start with Commissioner Byers. How do you
Yay.
vote? And Commissioner Pratt
Yay.
and Commissioner Webster,
Yay.
Commissioner Admin
Yay.
and Commissioner Woolham.
Yay.
All right, excellent. This feels good, feels important. Right. Thank you for your thoughtful consideration, and it feels good to have a unanimous decision here moving forward. Okay. Item 5.5, contract for services, next steps. I think here we need to establish a negotiating committee. Obviously, legal counsel Paxton, Chief Morris, and then I think it'd be important to have a commissioner as a part of that team. Is there someone willing to step up? Commissioner
Would
Webster?
volunteer, Commissioner Webster, I would volunteer for that position.
Excellent. Anyone else? Okay. All right. With our negotiating team in place, any other thoughts, comments, concerns on our next steps here?
Chief McGowan's had his hand up for a while.
Chief Cowan. Okay. Recognize Chief Cowan.
Thanks, Chair. I don't want to interrupt your meeting and all that, but I did want to just say thank you very much. I've been Shoreline here coming up on 9 years, and a little over 8 of those have been off and on working on this. And so I'm really excited. I think I speak for our board as well, in that we're very excited about this opportunity, and I know that we can collaborate and provide a great service to all of our communities. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief. Okay. Item 5.6. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Oakley.
Just, I didn't quite catch, I want to make sure I caught this. It's Commissioner Webster and legal counsel Paxton who are on the negotiating team.
Yeah, and then Chief Morris.
Oh, and Chief Morris, thank you.
Anything to add or contribute to this part of the conversation, Mr. Paxton?
Well, I'm happy to help negotiate that. There are going to be many fine details that get worked through the committee. I'm confident that Commissioner Webster, myself, and Fire Chief Morris will be able to negotiate this contract.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, item 5.6, discussion of administrative activities not covered in contract for services. And this is returning to a discussion we had at our last meeting, and specifically references a list of items created by former Commissioner Marin and Commissioner Webster concerning administrative activities not covered in the contract for service, or potentially not covered in the contract for service. And so what I'd like to do is establish a subcommittee to continue the investigation of those items. Some of them, I'm confident, are going to come out in the wash with the negotiating team, but I think an additional subcommittee is appropriate for pursuing how those activities are fulfilled in other organizations that contract for service. So we have any members willing to step up and be a part of a subcommittee investigating administrative activities? Commissioner Webster?
I would volunteer for that subcommittee also.
I'd be willing to help out.
Commissioner Byers?
I'd be willing to help out as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So Commissioner Webster and Commissioner Byers. All right. Excellent. Commissioner Admin?
I just have a suggestion that you might also have Chief Cowan take a first crack at that list, and it may, some of those may just be easy items for him to address as he has to currently serve his Shoreline Board of Commissioners.
Yes, I agree. And with Commissioner Webster on the negotiating team, I think that would be kind of a natural process there. Okay. All right. Moving on. Item number 6, any board resolutions? Not seeing any. Item 7, our consent agenda. Accept a motion to approve. Commissioner Admin?
Consent. I move to approve the consent agenda.
And Commissioner Webster and I second.
Excellent. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of approval of the consent agenda, please say aye.
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 All right, it's unanimous. Okay, item number 8, Fire Chief's report.
Nothing to add other than what's already been presented to you. If there's any questions, I'm willing to entertain.
Commissioners, any questions for Chief Morris?
I do have one, just on the COVID that's happening right now. I saw that on the last part of it, that it's on the uptick in King County. Is that correct? As far as the sickness moving through the county?
Actually, it's on the decline. Yeah, it's actually on the decline. The stats that we went over on Monday, the fatalities are slightly up, but when I say slightly up, it's like one additional individual, one additional fatality. So it is on the decline, and the hope is that it continues in that vein.
The only other question, I saw that we have like 90+% vaccination rates in the county for all age groups. It looks like that's amazing. I just wanted to thank you for keeping those statistics in your report. It helps us.
Yeah, you bet.
Commissioner Admin?
I have a couple of questions on the Chief's report. Under item number 5, under operations, and item number 6, there was a question for the board that he posed. It's MRSC renewal. I thought maybe he could just explain what that is. It doesn't sound like it's a very large order item, but
no, it's not. And that was our membership is at the request of the board over the years. It's $1,000 renewal used for policy and additional legal counsel. It's available for you. So I would recommend that we continue doing that, not knowing how long this process is going to be. And that renewal is like yesterday. So I asked them to hold off on it until we had a decision. I did speak with Chair Pratt today about this. So not to put words in your mouth, Chair Pratt, but he was comfortable moving ahead with the renewal on that. The other one was we have Office 365, and this is just part of this process. It's not going to be an issue now that a decision has been made, but we had until the 14th to make a decision on renewing that for another year, or there would be significant costs to the organization. Now that a decision has been made, that'll be part of the integration into Shoreline.
I had one other question. Could you just give a quick description of the training building being constructed?
Yeah, so what has been proposed and budgeted for this year, Battalion Chief Hansen's done a ton of work on it, and we're looking at putting a 3-bay steel building in the northwest corner, which will house apparatus. And the primary use is to keep apparatus out of the weather. And then also, as we host academies here, that will be their building to use. So currently we have an academy starting on Monday, and with the freezing weather, inclement weather, they do their morning workups in our apparatus space. So we have to make room for them and move apparatus out so they can do it inside. So it's going to be utilized by the consortium, by the academy, and then in the in-between times, we will have apparatus in that facility.
Commissioner Webster?
I had a question for Chief. I see we had some information about the watercraft services and where to store it and what have you. One of the options was on off season to store it in one of those bays of that shop. That was brought up why we extended it from 2 bays to 3. Is that an option that was still open for you?
It certainly could be an option. My recommendation with the deal that we have negotiated with Kenmore Air, the agreement is for a year. So we have the slots at Kenmore Air Harbor in a secured area, and you paid for the year. So that was what they asked for, and it's actually what the marinas were asking for, and it was the least expensive option. If we ever want to pull them out of the water, we can certainly store them in that building.
Any other questions for Chief Morris? Okay, any commissioner reports? None. Legal counsel?
I have a couple quick updates. As many of you may have seen, the legislator enacted a new law and the governor signed that extends the deadline for enrolling in the Long-Term Care Act. This is a payroll withholding that was kind of in limbo. It went into effect technically on January 1st. It's a small amount of money withheld from employee paychecks, but it received quite a lot of attention. And the legislator and the governor have decided to extend that until July of 2023. The second update is just, as you may have seen in the news, the Supreme Court has overturned the OSHA mandate for vaccinations or testing for employers over 100 employees. Washington State has its own organization for workplace safety called the Department of Labor and Industries, which has never actually issued any guidance for employers over 100 employees. But it looks like that will not occur based on the Supreme Court's decision. The only other update I have is I will be out of the office in 2 weeks. And so Richard Davis in my office has agreed to cover the meeting, next regular meeting on my behalf.
Thank you, Mr. Paxton. Okay, our final item, setting future agenda items. Outside of our standard agenda items, I'd like to see an update from our subcommittee on administrative activities and an update from our negotiating committee. Any other commissioners have items to add?
I may have a follow-up on that training date.
Very good. Yeah, now follow up or announcement if we've come to consensus on the training day. Okay, anything else? All right. Thank you very much for your time. This feels really good.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Yes, please. Thank you. I'll second that. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Aye.
All right.
Good meeting tonight.
Good meeting.
Todd?